Hello, Mr. Brown here, your science teacher. Today, let's take a look at the biology assignment, Chapter 16, Analyzing Data, Molecular Homology in the Hoxc8 gene. Okay, so how do we do it? First thing you got to do is grab your biology textbook and turn to page 470. Okay, there you will find in the bottom there, Analyzing Data, our assignment. All right, let's read this. Molecular homologies can be used to infer relationships among organisms. The diagram below shows a small portion of the DNA for the same gene, Hoxc8, in 3 animals, a mouse, a baleen whale, and a chicken. So we are looking inside the chromosomes of a mouse, a baleen whale, and a chicken, and we are locating the same gene, and we're looking for differences. We want to know who is more closely related. And this is what I mean by that. For example, lions and tigers are both part of the cat family. They are very closely related and they share many DNA bases. Whereas a mushroom and an elephant are not closely related and they share few DNA bases. So let's get to work. Number 1, what percentage of the nucleotides in the baleen whale's DNA are different from those of the mouse? And it gives us a hint on how to do that. And this is our old trick from math class. To find the percentage, it's part divided by whole times 100. Part over whole. All right, let's see what that means. We look and we see the sequence of DNA for the mouse and for the baleen whale. We count all the way across, and we find that there's 40 of them. So total number is 40. That's going to be our whole. Now, how many times does the mouse DNA not match the whale's? So we go through, here's ones, right? They don't match. There's 1, there's 2, there's 3, there's 4. So 4 times the 2 genes do not match. So here's our mathematics. Part over whole, that's 4 out of 40. Multiplied by 100 gives us 10%. The answer to number 1 is a mouse's DNA and a whale's DNA differ by only 10%. Now, how can that be? A mouse shares 90% of its DNA with a whale? Well, yeah, actually, according to the theory of evolution by natural selection, all living organisms on Earth are related. Some are closely related, some not so much. Let's look at it from another point of view. These are all mammals, right? And you can see here that the whale branch of the mammal family tree and then the rodent branch, if you go back in time, they do share ancient common ancestors. All right, now let's do the same thing with the mouse and the chicken. All right, so we compare the mouse DNA with the chicken DNA. Oh, I see a difference right off the start right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 differences in their DNA of this gene. So we run the math. Part over whole, 8 out of 40 are different, and that calculates to 20%. A mouse's DNA and a chicken's DNA differ by 20%. They're not really that closely related. But why not? A chicken lives on the farm, a mouse can live on the farm. What do you mean they're not related? Well, we're talking about evolution, right? Birds belong to a group that lay eggs, like other reptiles, crocodiles, turtles, snakes, and rodents belong to mammals, which give live birth and have hair. And if you take this all the way back, you got to go back over 100 million years ago before you find they share a common ancestor. And that's why their DNA differs so much more. Number 3, do you think a mouse is more closely related to a whale or to a chicken? Well, based on our evidence that we saw, mice are more closely related to whales because they're both mammals. They both belong to the mammalian family. And chickens, they're birds. They are a completely different group. Number 4, do you think that scientists can use small sections of DNA, like the one shown here, to infer evolutionary relationships? Why or why not? Well, we know from our studies that DNA is a very long molecule containing billions of base pairs, A's and T's, G's and C's, and the one that we saw in our book was only 40. And scientists would probably like to use a bigger sample than the little teeny ones that we saw today. All right, I hope that helped you. And this is Mr. Brown. I'll see you later.